All right, here goes nothing. We're with our second or third partner check-in with Chalmers. Second of the year, right? Number two. And this time we are joined by Carissa Chipman. I've called her Clarissa way too many times in our relationship. We are sitting next to each other. If you're watching this, we're at the New England Camp Conference live. The vendor hall is right behind us over in the corner there. Some standards people are talking about accreditation, but we have the opportunity to sneak a few minutes and do a check-in here live together, which is so much fun, even though it does look like we're on Zoom. But the reason we wanted to do this one today is to introduce Carissa to those of you who have not met Carissa, and also to let the people who do know her maybe learn something new. So Carissa, do me a solid. And before we dive into the professional world, would you just introduce yourself for the folks and tell them a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Carissa Chipman. They gave me the longest title ever. It's Program Business Development Specialist here at Chalmers Camp Insurance. We are located in Maine and New Hampshire, but can really service camps anywhere, which is nice. And I'm originally from New Jersey.
That's what we were hoping. Yeah. Get to the goods.
Originally from New Jersey, met my husband at the University of New Haven, decided that he's from Maine, so decided we're not moving to New Jersey, moved to Maine. So now Maine's been home for 15 years now. And, I'm lucky to call Maine home. I mean, it really is a beautiful place.
You and me both married into Mainers, and I think that says something about the integrity that we have. So, all right, that's the person, that's the human, that's the you. And if you're curious about what Chalmers Camp Insurance is, go watch part one and then go to their website, or just listen a little bit more. You'll pick up on it. But either way, Chalmers Camp Insurance, they've been around with New England camps for generations, literally generations. 4 generations now. Thank you for pointing that out. And they've been a partner of ours for a number of years. And so we're happy to call them a partner and continue to call them a partner because they're good friends to have in this space. But back to you, Carissa. What got you into camp insurance? It's not something, just like a lot of camp pros, it's not something that people usually sit around and go, I'm going to do that. But what steered you towards camp insurance?
Yeah. So I'm not really a camp person originally per se.
Me either.
I did go to Girl Scout camp once because I sold the most cookies, so I got to go to the camp for free. So I guess that should have been like foreshadowing that I probably would end up in some sort of like sales career. But I started in insurance about 15 years ago in underwriting, account management, did underwriting for a guide program. So taking the girl from New Jersey and putting her in a guide program, I was Googling what is an ice auger? Like literally things that I had no idea. I mean, I don't think our lakes freeze in New Jersey. So learned a lot. But quick story.
Please.
So through a couple of jobs in insurance, I landed at Chalmers. And when I found out that my position was going to be for their camp program, I was like, you know what? I really want to go back to being an expert in something. There was something to be said of being like a generalist and kind of trying to know everything versus specializing in something and really being able to like niche down and be able to help your clients. So long story short, that's kind of how I ended up in camp industry. But, I was just talking to someone earlier today, and I was like, I feel really fortunate that when I joined Chalmers, I got two communities. I got the Chalmers community because we have about 100 employees, and also the camp community. And I joke all the time that I have the best job in insurance.
I don't joke all the time. I tell people, businesses and people who are camp adjacent, it does take a camp person to succeed in this role, and just your attitude and the way that you approach it and the way that you're just curious and the way you ask questions, you want to learn more. You're always there for the camps, and you humanize the process for our camps, which we really appreciate. Everything's retail here in New England. Relationships are retail. Insurance is retail. So make sure you know who your neighbors are. And if you need one, they're a good one to call. Recently, I want to point this out and put you on the spot. You were recognized in a pretty big way, and I want to give you a chance to share that. What was it recently that you were? And I know what it is. I'm trying to let her tell the story. What was it recently? I want you to share with everybody else something that you shared with us recently about your successes in the insurance world.
Yeah. So last fall, I was recognized as the Maine Young Insurance Professional of the Year, which was a huge accomplishment personally. I was like, you have to be under 40 to get it. So I was like, this would be a great accomplishment before I turn 40. Not 40 yet, still a few more years.
That's not that scary.
And, it was great to, put kind of on the map, the work that I do with camps and with Chalmers as well.
It's nice to quantify or getting reassurance, getting affirmation is the word that we use now of like, I think I'm doing good. I feel like I'm doing good. And then when it's kind of like, you all probably feel this way as well. And we do it in camping, where it's like, I can tell you how great my camp is. When you start hearing it from other people, that's how you know that it's really good. It's the same thing. We've always known that you've been good at what you do, but now we've got actual data. I saw somebody walking around the conference that said that decision wasn't very data driven of you because they're doing a data, and I thought it was kind of snarky and fun.
And I mean, I know that we're obviously camp professionals are going to be the ones that are listening to this mainly, but also, I mean, insurance isn't known as like a sexy career. And so I like to advocate that, there are careers in insurance and, there we have a risk consultant that has a background in camp. So you can even be a camp professional and end up in insurance and it's still fun. But really just, my focus in that segment of my job is like focusing on the fact that there are careers in insurance and then also that different educational levels, you can still get careers in insurance as well.
I freaking love this. And you actually walk the walk because you dove right into the camp community and you were part of, I want you to give folks your ACA New England kind of resume or experience. But I will say part of that experience with us is we've been on committees together where people talk about careers in camping. Epic is the one main one that comes to mind. And we did something called So You Want to Work in Camping. And it opens the people's eyes to camping, especially you learn it here at the New England Camp Conference, is as Bob Ditter said, it is a movement, but it is a big industry. And there are multiple parts. So and we need good people in camping, period. But that means at camps, that means at our vendors, that means at camp adjacent jobs. So I'm glad you brought that up too, because camping is it can be a long career. And, you can go here, you can go there. You might be at a camp for a while. You might be at an association for a while. I'm not saying I'm on the market. I'm not going anywhere. I love what I do. I get to work with all the camps. Exactly. But to the point of you decided if I'm going to be an expert or if this is going to be my field, then I need to dive in. So what got you into working with ACA New England? And then if you leave anything out, I'll let everybody know. But then talk to me about some of the stuff you've done with us in the committees you served and the volunteering.
Yeah. Well, one quick thing
Sure,
to go
please.
back to what you previously said.
Yeah.
Camp industry, I think, is the only industry where like you'll meet someone and they'll be like, "Oh, I've been here for 50 years," and 50 years started when they were like 8. Or I'm like, "Oh, like I thought you were 45. Were you born at camp?" And just
A lot of lifers.
like I love that about camp. But when I started at Chalmers, I was kind of like, I dove right in. I'm like, I need to learn everything that I can about camp. So Jim Chalmers was great and was like, Maine Summer Camps has this local community. Join. And then I found out about Epic Emerging Professionals in Camp and I joined. And I really went in with the attitude of like, I know risk management, you know camp. How can you teach me everything I need to know? And how can I teach you to make camp safe? So that's kind of just been the, I guess, attitude that I've had and that, I mean, I'm not a camp person per se. I mean, I feel like I am now, but
You are now. Yeah.
I didn't work.
You're one of us.
I didn't grow up at camp, so I'll always be learning more. As campers evolve, staff evolves, I'll always be learning more from camps. But having that like risk management lens and that expertise, it's great to kind of like marry the two and really just help, our camps that we work with, but then really the benefit of working with the associations and Epic and everything is that I can help the camp community as a whole, which I enjoy because not a lot of times you can do that. It's always like, well, you help your clients only, you don't help others. But I love being in a position where I can help others too.
As you can hear in the background, camp is a collegial community, and I will say, Carissa has been a wonderful example of volunteerism and also just being invested in your work. We did celebrate her as with a Leadership and Service Award recently as well here at ACA New England. Was that Chalmers? It's Chalmers Camp Insurance. So everything comes full circle. No, you were there. You were with it because I know she had the look on her face. She's like,
did I miss something that I was invited to?
This is why we're here, though, is because I was talking about because of you and the work that you do and the connection you have, it elevated and reminded us of the partners that we have in the space. And so that's why I say it's important to get involved. I did not mean to put you on the spot like this. You're like, what? No, but it's because I remember working with you about the award.
And back in January, Jim Chalmers got the Jack Briller Award from Maine Summer Camps. And, it's just like a true testament to this isn't necessarily like a job for us. I mean, it is, but we truly care and enjoy.
It's your livelihoods, and that's the way we like it. I like what you said earlier about you're still learning. Camp people are always learning.
Absolutely.
Every day, always learning. And speaking of learning, if people want to get in touch with you all, how do they do it?
My email is cchipman@chalmersinsurancegroup.com. It's long.
Otherwise, give me a
Like my
call.
title. You can reach out to Bud. He knows how to
Yes.
find me. You can find me on LinkedIn, Carissa Chipman. You can find us on all the social platforms, Camp Chalmers or Chalmers Camp Insurance. Those are the best ways.
And if you're driving around New England, odds are you're going to drive by a Chalmers insurance sign as well. It might, whether or not that location's working with camps, they can probably connect you as well. Thank you so much, Carissa. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in here. All right. No.